Çok güzel başladı aslında. Bizim misafir 3 günlüktür dedi. O 3 günden sonra misafir olarak kabul edilmediğini, pek çok ülkede pek çok sorunun birlikte geldiğini, özellikle enfeksiyonun, solunum problemlerinin, gastrointestinal problemlerin, bunlar bilinen problemler tabii ama en çok da e, Doctors Without Borders olarak sadece sağlık problemleriyle değil, insan onuruyla da yakından ilgilendiklerini açıkladı. Örneğin ilk göçebelerin sorunlarını yönetirken de daha çok acil problemlerin çözümlendiğini ama ileriye dönük uzun kalıcı çözümlerin henüz yaygınlaşmadığını belirtti. If I'm mistaken, please, because you speak very well Turkish, bahsetti. Ayrıca hem yolculuklar sırasında hem de yolculuktan sonra en büyük problemlerden birinin de şiddet olduğunu, işkence olduğunu, hem cinsel hem travmatik şiddetlere maruz kalındığını, ayrıca onuru zedeleyici davranışlarda bulunulduğunu, özellikle Avrupalıların bakış açılarını çok güzel anlattı. Sayı olarak gördüklerini, insanlara isim değil de kollarındaki sayılarla iletişim sağlandığını, çünkü bunun bir şekilde daha kolay onlar açısından madde olarak görüldüğünden bahsetti. Bu da tabii ki insan onurunu zedeleyici bir durum. İşte tuvalet, hijyen durumlarının göz ardı edildiğini, büyük bir kısmının geri gönderilmek üzere, şu anda benim anladığım 15 bin kişi Yunanistan'dan geri gönderilmek üzere örneğin kamplarda bekletiliyor. Sınır tanımayan doktorların en büyük amacının da sağlık problemleri olduğu kadar bu onur zedeleyici davranışların önüne geçmek istediğinden bahsetti ve şu cümlelerle bitirdi. Göçebeler sadece hastalık taşıyıcı, enfeksiyon taşıyıcı ve ağır yük getirici kişiler değildir şeklinde bitirdi. Çok teşekkür ediyoruz bu güzel sunumu için. Ben şimdi soruları alabilirim varsa ya da katkıları. İlhan Hocam.
Şimdi ben de iki dilde şey yapayım. Önce bir Türkçe sorayım. Şimdi öncelikle teşekkür ediyorum bu güzel sunum için. Sayın Doktor Apostolos tebliğinde ilginç bir örnek verdi. Yani gerekli olan tıbbi müdahalelerin yapılmaması durumunda zamanında tedavi edildiğinde çok ucuza mal edilebilecek bir tedavinin çok yüksek fiyatlara mal olduğunu söyledi. Bunu tam doğrulayan bir çalışma 2015 yılında Almanya'da saygın bir dergide yayınlandı ve orada şu ortaya kondu. Yani şu anda oradan belki oradaki uygulamalardan bahsetmek gerekirse biz her ne kadar işte 3 günlük misafir falan diyoruz. Almanya'daki uygulama şu: bir kişi mülteci statüsüne resmi olarak kavuşabilmesi için belli prosedürlerden geçmesi gerekiyor. Ve bu prosedürler genelde uzun sürüyor. 1 yıl, 2 yıl şeklinde. Ve 15 ay içerisinde kronik olan, çok acil olmayan sağlık hizmetleri dışında herhangi bir hizmet verilmiyor. Yani burada 3 gün değil, 15 ay beklemeniz gerekiyor ki misafirlik statüsüne kavuşabilirsiniz diye. Böyle bir uygulama var. Tabii bu şekilde karşılaştırıldığında Türkiye Almanya'dan fersah fersah ileride. Yani işte Fuat hocamız gelseydi belki daha detaylı bilgiler alacaktık. Şimdi orada yapılan çalışmada da şu ortaya konmuş. Yani siz kronik hastalıkları tedavi etmiyorsunuz ama aslında bu normalde edilmiş olsa bu hastalıkların tedavisi çok daha ucuza mal olacak. Şimdi bu bilimsel olarak da bilindiğine ve ispatlandığına göre acaba bunu uygulayan ülkeler neden Türkiye gibi bir uygulamaya geçmiyorlar? Kaldı ki işte bu ülkeler, şunu biliyoruz biz, mesela 24 Avrupa topluluğu ülkesinden sadece 10'unda bildiğim kadarıyla ya da çok sınırlı ülkede direkt olarak Türkiye'de olduğu gibi bir sağlık hizmetleri söz konusu. Diğerlerinde ise sınırlanıyor vesaire falan. Yani bunun acaba anında müdahale olduğunda, normal bir tedavi yapıldığında, ki kendisi de bu örneği verdi, yapılmamasının sebebi acaba ona göre nedir? So I will try to, in English, very shortly. You give a very interesting example in your presentation at first. Thank you very much for your wonderful presentation. If you try to hypertension, for example, it could be then cheaper than the normal treatment, because you need ECU, intensive care unit, and so on. And we know that in Germany, the situation, you have to wait 15 months to become a normally standard medical treatment. So there is also scientific research on this topic, and the researchers found out that it would be cheaper if someone treats the normal medical situation. So my question is, if we know this situation, these facts scientifically, why we not practice this normal way and let them wait 15 months and sometimes longer than this time?
Yeah. Thank you very much, first of all, for the question. And I promise that next symposium that will be next year here, I will speak in Turkish, definitely. So I try to bring a little bit of certain elements related to healthcare, to public health, and the way of approach. We today, as let's say, if we want to put ourselves on the West society of the West, the rich, that we know everything, that we have everything. On the management of public health, on the management of we are missing strategies. So even for our own citizens today, let migrants outside of our countries. We don't have a proper health strategies implemented in our countries. Strategies that are related, first of all, addressing properly the medical problems, and secondly, spending better the money. Money is being overspent, or money is being spent with no reason sometimes. You can, and everybody knows. To give you an example, today in the camps where the refugees are in Greece, we have everyday outbreaks of hepatitis A, because people, they don't have toilets, and they don't have water, and they don't have soap. So the government goes and does so-called ring vaccinations. So they go next to the tent and they vaccinate for hepatitis A. You ask a question, what is the incubation period of hepatitis A? 45 days. So if the guy was infected, so what is the reason of doing the vaccines? And if you talk to the government says, I'm doing it for visibility. So the people, they see that I'm doing something to take care of it. If you ask the government, why don't you put a toilet and water, that will cost you less. This is the logic behind. So the government says, no, because if I put water and toilet and water, more refugees will come. Because they will say there is water here and toilet. Do you think that there is a toilet and the water that makes people come? Why, for example, at the moment, people, they want to go to Germany? Because in Germany, they'll get a job, they'll get this and that, and et cetera, et cetera. Now, the problem why today we're not implementing what you mentioned, even though the study that I presented was financed by European Union, and there's not only a study, there are many other studies, is because the politicians today, they cannot come out to the public in Turkey, in Greece, in Germany, and telling them that refugees and migrants are going to have access to healthcare, because there will be a reaction of the local people. So they want to always to find an enemy. So the enemy is the refugees, the enemy is the migrant. Enemy, it is something different. There's also another element that we need to keep in mind. If you consider the story of refugees and migrants as a temporary, I can tell you that it will remain temporary forever. Because I can tell you that you did this country, Turkey, a huge interventions, billions, I heard this morning, $25 million to assist people. Because you thought that there will be 1 day, 2 days, 1 year, and people will go back to Syria. People will not go back to Syria forever. So the idea is that spending the money, you need to spend them properly, and not just spending in that manner. Now, the reason is why they don't want to spend the money in a proper way, in a strategic manner, is that, again, they think that this is a money that they are afraid that taxpayers, people who have Sigorta, saying, we are paying taxes, and they are not paying taxes. The best way to solve the problem, do you know what is? It is integration. If the people are integrated in society, they get a job, they will pay taxes, and they will have access to healthcare, so you don't need to contribute. But the states, at the same time, they don't want legal migration. When the Turkish people and the Greek people, they went to Germany, they went as legal migrants, so they could get a job and a salary and a pension. Now they want Europe and United States and other rich countries, they want illegal migration. They prefer legal migration because like this, there is a black market going on. So there's no responsibility. I can come to find you in the street, you are not papers, I take you, sent to Turkey, in Turkey to Iraq. So the reason why many things are not being implemented, it is because overall the business wants cheap labor. Wants cheap labor and illegal migration. Because the legal migration, it costs. And the states, they don't want to provide benefits. They want somebody to work, and when he cannot work, to throw him away. That's the system that we are. Now, what is an important thing, and we don't do it, because you said something very important, why the states are not doing it. How many times, as a doctor, yourself, you went to Hurriyet, to Jum Hurriyet, to Sabah, and to Star TV and whatever TV, and talked about it, did you? No. Because first of all, you'll not get the space. Nobody is going to invite you to talk about it, but about that topic. They will invite you for other topics, what they want, not what you want. How many times, for example, we as a society went to the students, to our colleagues, as a medical association, and came out and talked about it? How many times, for example, we went in the street in Istanbul to demonstrate about it? Not to demonstrate for freedom, democracy, or whatever, to demonstrate about the needs of these people. And for example, when people are coming in the street, this is being considered that these are the ones who are for human rights and for the refugee, friends of refugees. So I think it's important that society, of course, we cannot expect changes from one day to another. We do more active participation on this topic in discussion. We present it more and more.
Çevirmemi ister misiniz? Herkes. Summary. Kendisi de Doktor Vietis de gösterdi. İlhan hocamızın da sorduğu FRA çalışması vardı. Yani böyle her problem olduğunda müdahale etmek yerine baştan bütün altyapı da dahil bütün problemleri çözülse aslında çok daha az masraflı olacağı gösterilmiş durumda birkaç çalışmayla. Ama neden bu yapılmadığı sorusuna gelince daha çok tabii ki politik bir sorun bu. Bir de orada yaşayan, yani herkesin, işte hükümetlerin ya da yöneticilerin kendi halklarına bunu anlatması zor oluyor birincisi. Çünkü işte kendi yerlerine geçmesinden korkuyorlar. Kendileri vergi ödediği halde ödemeyen, daha avantajlı olabileceğini düşündükleri bir grubun gelmesini benimsemiyorlar. Ayrıca örneğin Yunanistan hükümeti eğer ben bu sorunları kökten çözersem daha çok mülteci gelir diye korkuyor. Birkaç faktör var. Kendisinin de çözüm önerisi bu kişileri vatandaşlık gibi ya da ona yakın bir konuma getirerek vergi vermelerini de sağlayarak diğer vatandaşlar gibi sorumluluk alıcı bir konumda tuttukları zaman itiraz edilemeyeceği doğrultusunda bir de medya kuruluşlarının bizim tarafımızdan da zorlanarak bu mültecilerin sorunlarına gerçek bir bakış açısıyla bakmalarının yapılması gerektiğini savunuyor kendisi. Is there any question? Last 4 minutes. Neden İngilizce konuşuyorum? Türkçe. Buyurun. There. Tabii. Türkçe sorabilirsiniz.
Problem olur mu İngilizce sormak? İngilizce soracaktım ama problem
İngilizce
olur mu?
de sorabilirsiniz tabii.
Sir, hello. Thank you for your speech about this subject. I want to ask one thing. Must be a year ago or 16 months ago, I was watching the newspapers I was reading newspapers and I was watching new TV shows, and I learned that refugees came to border to Turkey, the Greece, you know that, and the Greece government didn't accept taking refugees to the country, you know more than me, but I think the government doesn't want to accept them about this refugee subject. I am asking, Greek people don't want to accept refugees because they don't love them, right? And I'm asking also, European countries always saying we are taking care of human rights, but I think they don't taking care of human rights. And you say they are given a degree, numbers, not names. They don't deal with names, with only numbers. I'm asking, what are you thinking about it? Greek people love refugees, or they don't want to accept anything about refugees? You are Greek too. You must know more than me, and you must know about European countries more than me. And when they didn't accept them, they became more patient, and they were waiting for the go into Europe, but they don't accept, and they became more patient. What did you think about it? Thanks.
Maybe we can take the other two questions.
Yeah, let's take other two questions and he will give answers. Diğer iki soruyu da alalım, sonunda cevap verecek. Demin iki el görmüştük. Türkçe ya da İngilizce olabilir. I have one question too.
Merhaba, iyi günler. Ben Nathan Bertelsen, Doktor Koç Üniversitesi Tıp Fakültesi. Biraz İngilizce konuşuyorum, so I'll ask my question in English. I'd like to welcome our special guests, welcome all of you, and thank you for all of your attention for this. One brief comment, one quick question. I agree that integration is the key. I'm a foreigner here in Turkey, ben yabancı burada in Turkey. I have a comment about how wonderful our hosts are in Turkey. My wife is Turkish. I've been living here for 2 years, and I'm always telling everybody outside of Turkey how diverse Turkey always has been. I live in Galata. There are 3 synagogues in my neighborhood. For centuries ago, many Jewish immigrants came to Istanbul, founded their synagogues, many different languages spoken in this country. My wife is Cherkess. They were welcomed here in the 19th century, and on and on and on. So I always point out to yabancılar that Turkey is no stranger to integration. And now we're being faced with integration challenges that we haven't seen before. And that is the question, and that's the billion-euro question. How will we integrate? Comment was a little longer than I expected. My question is, working at a university, what do you think universities can do in Turkey to respond? Thank you. Efaristo.
And another question? İlhan Hocam 5 dakika uzatabilir miyiz? Alayım mı o soruları? Çünkü süremizin sonuna geldik. Tamam, devam edebiliriz.
Hocam ben de Avrupa'da yükselen ırkçılık ve İslamofobi hakkındaki görüşlerini sormak istiyorum. Alexander Bey'in. İsmini...
Sizi görmüyorum
Buradayım
ama
hocam.
sorunuzu duydum.
Buradayım hocam. Yani Almanya'da mesela Jugendamt isminde bir gençlik ofisi var. Bizim soydaşlarımızın çocuklarını mesela basında okuyoruz. İşte ellerinden alınıyor gibi. Ve mülteci çocuklar var. 10.000 tane çocuk Avrupa'da kayıp deniliyor. İşte Hristiyanlığa geçirilirse oturma hakkı verilecek gibi basında okuyoruz. Bu konuda MSF'in bir çalışmaları var mı acaba?
Did you understand? No, he is asking some information, or he's wondering what you think about the Islamophobia and racism in Europe. And he says that we know that there are 10,000 immigrants with Islam religion, and they are forced to convert to Christian, maybe. to be accepted. What do you think about it? And my one question from myself, your association, the Sınır Tanımayan Doktorlar, Doctors Without Borders, what does this association do specifically to convince the political authorities to have a solution for the problem of indignity of these people?
All of them, they were wonderful questions. I'll try to give some good answers. I am not sure they will have the same quality of questions. So, first of all of them are 1 million questions. We can do a symposium by itself for each of them. But anyway, now, the states, they don't take the responsibilities. So when the migrants and refugees were arriving in Greece, the one who was first to assist the people were fishermen, old people, activists, NGOs. The state was not there. When these people were going away and they were continuing their trip to Macedonia, Serbia, and to Germany, for the local people to give them some water, that's not a problem. The problem starts when the people are stuck. As the gentleman said, 3 days Musafir today, it's okay. They will take me for lunch, for dinner, oh, tralala. The 4th day, they will tell me, sorry, but you know, Musafir is over. So when the state responsibility is not there, the people, especially when they are living in the middle of crisis, and today, unfortunately, Greece, since 2008, has economical crisis, the people face difficulties. Because, first of all, they fear that, what about my job? They fear that this person is going to be a burden for my life. So you have reactions of people, not from everybody, but you have reactions of people from the local community when they feel that the state is not there and they have to deal with something that is big and they don't know for how long. Because people are continuing coming and they're saying how big the problem will be. Today, as I said, 15,000 refugees are being stuck in the Greek islands. And for example, the last year, the refugee number was bigger than the number of the local people. You heard this morning from a doctor of the Kızılay who said that the number of refugees in Kilis is more than normal of local people. So I think these are also social issues. We cannot ignore that. So I think that's again the state role and state responsibility to put a balance on that. We cannot generalize saying that Greeks are racist or Germans are racist, etc. People, you cannot generalize. There are among the people, it's like the fingers. In the forest, there are different animals. So I think we need to not to generalize. I think it's important to distinguish on that. Coming to the point of the gentleman, to link a little bit with the Islamophobia. Islamophobia or the fear of terrorists coming out, etc., it's something again produced by the states. It's not produced by the local people. I mean, the states are the one to produce the xenophobia and to produce at the same time stigma of Islam. For me, I've been traveling and working in many countries, be that Muslim countries. I can recite for you Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah, Alhamdulillah, and Shkurallah. And everybody in Muslim countries was telling me, you are Muslim. Yes, I am Muslim. What's the problem? So the idea behind is that we need to open a dialogue with our societies. Muslims are living in Greece, Muslims are living in Germany, Muslims are living everywhere. Christians are living in Turkey. The idea is today that when you talk about, yes, there are people, for example, that when they want to help somebody, I was working in Afghanistan in 2001 during the Taliban time. So there were some very good doctors that they came to Afghanistan to do eye operations. They were from the United States. And together with the eye operations, they were giving to the people a Bible. But I can remind you also, keep in mind, that in Afghanistan also, from Saudi Arabia, there were an organization from Saudi Arabia that wanted, for example, the Sunnah to become Shia, or the Shia to become Sunnah. So the story of religion, it is not related to one country or to another country. It is being just presented in that way, as a danger part. And for me, to link a little bit the question, what we do as an organization, what universities can do, we need to maintain the dialogue, first of all. And at least we can talk, and tomorrow we can go back to our schools, to our universities, and make this discussion. I'm happy that you invited me. Tomorrow I'm going to Bilgi University. The last week I was in Afyon. 2 weeks ago, I was in another university. So I think we need to combine these little forces, 5 people, 10 people, 20 people, in order to maintain this type of dialogue. Now, as an organization, what we can do from our side with the money that people are giving us, because we are based only on private donations, we don't get money from the government. So we can go where is the need, for how long it is the need, and how much we have money. So we combine our work with our advocacy. So what I'm sharing to you and what I'm going to tell, what I'm telling my government, I'm telling them that what you are telling about people being sick, sorry for my French, is bullshit. People are getting sick because you are not giving them proper care. And I'm showing my data. What you could do as university, bring the data on the table. Medical schools, go make the data and say, Syrians, Iraqis, Afghanis, they are healthy. There's no problem. There are 5 cases of leishmaniasis, and what's wrong? Until yesterday, Adana, for example, had malaria. Or Mardin had malaria. Turkey was endemic to malaria. So why suddenly we are afraid of an Afghani who has malaria, for example? And we know how malaria has been transmitted. So as an academic, also you need to tell people how, you know, for example, you have the Coast Guards. They go with masks, gloves, and they go to catch refugees. And they say, why you are wearing all of them? Maybe they have AIDS. And I'm asking him, how AIDS is being transmitted, do you know? How HIV is being transmitted? I don't know. So what is the biggest problem is this ignorance. And ignorance today and the lack of knowledge, it is worse than producing that type of reaction. Do you know that today, for example, even though not linked with the refugees, if you go to Greek hospitals, outside of patients who has hepatitis B, there is a big paper, says hepatitis B. So we are stigmatizing people. So in order not to stigmatize people, I think as a role of university, you need to educate better on intercultural management, that we're coming from different culture and we have a different way of approach. Because it's an important thing that I'm sure, as medical doctors and professors at the university, I'm sure that you deal differently with somebody from Konya, somebody from Mardin, and somebody from Izmir. I don't think that you are approaching them the same way, because they have a different way of thinking, mentality, etc. So I think there are certain elements that we can bring both on educational part, on the data and the research that we can do from our side. And most important thing, please do talk about it. Not on theoretical approach. Do your research, do your data, educate people and talk about it, like you are talking today in the symposium.
Biraz süremizi aştık. Ben 4 soruyu toparlayacağım ve bitireceğiz. Başka sorusu olan varsa tabii ki dışarıda yine sorabilir. 4 soru, bir tanesi neden Almanya'da bu kadar Yunanistan'da gelen kişileri kabul etmeme durumu var. Diğeri, üniversiteler ne yapabilir bu duruma çözüm bulmak için? Benim sorum, siz nasıl siyasal otoriteleri ikna etmek için spesifik olarak ne yapıyorsunuzdu? Bir de başka arkadaşımız Avrupa'daki İslamofobi ve ırkçılık hakkında ne düşünüyorsunuz diye sormuştu. Hepsine cevabı hemen hemen benzer. Aslında bu ırkçılık da, İslamofobi de, işte mültecilerin kabul edilmemesi, itilmesi de hepsi lokal insanlarla ilgili değil, devletlerin politikalarıyla ilgili. Yoksa yardıma muhtaç olduğu düşünüldüğü zaman tek tek aslında herkes yardım ediyor ama bir kere bu kamplara girdiklerinde, artık gönderilmeleri düşünüldüğünde o zaman devlet politikası haline geliyor ve zaten İslamofobiyi de, işte ırkçılığı da, hepsini yaratan da devletlerle ilgili, tek tek kişilerle ilgili değil dedi. Kendisi bir örnek verdi. Afganistan'da çalıştığı sırada, ki Taliban döneminde çalışmış ve onu çok benimsemişler, bana yemekte anlatmıştı. Ama başka işte göz hekimi arkadaşları işte göz ameliyatı yaparken yanında da işte İncil veriyorlarmış. Ama bir benzeri de yine Suudi Arabistan'da örneğin işte Sünni Şii ayrımı yapıldığını, yani dünyanın her yerinde bu tür ayrımcılıkların yapılabildiğini söyledi. Üniversiteler ve bu tür organizasyonlar ne yapabilir devletleri ikna etmek için? İşte bu tür toplantılarla, medyayı kullanarak, anlatarak, öğreterek, yanlış bilinen şeylerin üzerinde durularak, daha çok üzerine giderek ikna edebilir diye sonlandırdı. Ben çok teşekkür ediyorum kendisine. Sizin de sabrınıza çok teşekkür ediyorum. Thank you very much for this excellent speech and all the comments.